2025, save this, me saying this, get into 2025, if you live through it without rooting yourself with the spirituality and your ancestors and you survive, come back and tell me you were lying. But I'll tell you this for free. Thank you so much, the people who are subscribing. I'll tell you this for free. 2025, you are not going to survive with some sort of spiritual routine. Look for it where you can find it. If you find it in church, go. Me, right now, I'm at a point where I'm not discrediting anything. I'm only focusing on the people who I am focusing on. But I want to encourage you. Find a spiritual rooting. If you find it in Buddhism, go to Buddhism. If you find it in Islam, go to Islam. If you find it in Christianity, go to Christianity. If you find it in whichever cult or whatever pagan worship, go there. Because in 2025, it's going to be Game of Thrones. The best spiritual gatherings are the ones who are going to reign, starting from 2026 going forward. And 2025, we are rooting it. So if you believe in Catholicism, if you feel like that is what is going to bring life into your life, get into Catholic. Worship. Let the best team win. Let the best team win and let the spiritual, those who hold the cleanest spirituality of the planet, let them take the throne. But in 2025, you are not going to manage to stand on the fence. You're not going to manage to just be, I don't know. I am an atheist. Atheism is not a destination. It is a transit point. Don't stay at the transit point for too long. God exists. If you are an atheist, atheism is usually a transitional point that you get from a spirituality that doesn't serve you. You get into atheism before you find a spirituality that serves you. Don't stay at the atheism place in 2025. You will not survive. So kindly, this is a message that I'm going to be saying a lot until that 2025 reaches, so that you know that next year you are going to be tested. Next year your faith is going to pass through fire. If you've been spiritual, I don't care which dimension you come from. I don't care whether you call yourself the witches. I don't care whether you call yourself the Catholics, the Protestants, the SDAs. I don't care whether you call yourself a Hindu, a Buddhist. 2025 is where your faith is going to pass through fire. And there's no group work. You will experience it individually. And if your faith cannot pass through fire, if your faith cannot stand the test of time, if your faith cannot stand Sobek energy, rest in peace in 2025. Otherwise, I'm going to start now. This, whatever I'm teaching, applies to people who subscribe to the type of spirituality that I subscribe to, which is realism. Reality. Let's just be real. That's why here I teach the 12 houses, I teach the reality, I teach the body, I teach the gods according to the body that are within you. So me, my type of spirituality that I subscribe to is realism, geared towards building beauty through empowering authenticity, teaching melanin, and erasing the Vatican. If you are part of the Vatican, you are welcome. This is going to be a tug of war. Just stand on that other side. The same way Africans used to play games. There's one team and then there's another team. Now my team is erasing the Vatican. So the Vatican is going to stand and fight us spiritually. And you are welcome, please. Don't walk around saying, oh, our spirituality is fake, is fake, is fake. Prove yours. By you proving yours, it will naturally and automatically render my spirituality obsolete. So if you are somebody who is also my subscriber, don't listen to people who are telling you, oh, this is demonic or whatever. Anything that needs to be rendered obsolete, stand with your spirituality so that you render mine obsolete. But if I stand with mine so much that it proves to be more essential to the planet than yours, then sit down or cross over the floor. If you cannot defeat them, you will have to join them. So stop with the smear campaigns, you're wasting time. May the best ones win. If you know that Catholic is more powerful, stay in it. And may the best spirituality of the planet win and carry the day. Let's all be fair to one another. Let everybody worship what they want to worship. At the end of the day, let the one that works win. From there, I'm going to start teaching you guys about the ancestral passwords. And kindly listen as usual. Listen as usual. The Vatican, let the most powerful spirituality win. Let the most powerful spirituality win. Do your worst when it comes to you going for the throne of winning spiritual cleanliness, spiritual hygiene on the planet. Let the best spiritual side win. And that's on period. Now, we're going to start with the ancestral password. So first of all, if you're somebody who is a Pan-African spiritualist, a realist, you don't want to believe anymore, you want to know, listen. Because I'm going to teach you how our ancestors work with us and how to connect with them. It's very important in this particular timeline, guys. Right now, it's very important for you to connect to your ancestors. Nothing is going to save you but you going back into unison with your body. Work with your body first. Be friends with your body first. Prioritize your body first. Respect your body first. Love your body first before you go out to love anybody, because it is within your body that lies the temple for your ancestors, nowhere else. So no human being has the ability to invent any idea. We are born into this world. We do not choose our thoughts choose us according to the level of vibrations that we are on. So any invention, you don't come up with it. Even me right now, as I'm teaching this asset, I'm teaching the 12 houses. I'm not the one who has invented them. These ideas already exist, waiting for you to raise your vibration in order for you to tap into them. So never think, if you're somebody who you studied history, invention, colonization, you know that a lot of historical books have records of white people inventing things. And today I want to tell you, nobody invents anything. Ideas already exist, waiting for people capable of reaching their level of vibration to grasp them from thoughts. And as I speak, guys, you know what thought is? Thought is the Capricorn energy. Your ability to utilize yourself is what raises your vibration. Your ability to utilize yourself is what raises your vibration. And as you make yourself useful, your body upgrades like iPhones. You come from iPhone 1, iPhone 2, all the way to iPhone 13. And the thoughts that you access as an iPhone 1 are not the thoughts that you access as an iPhone 13. As you upgrade, so do the thoughts that you have access to upgrades. So do the ideas you have access to upgrades. So do the inventions you have access to upgrades. Now, ideas already exist waiting for people capable of reaching their levels of vibration to grasp them from thought into the physical dimension. These levels of vibrations is what is termed as ancestral passwords. If you don't do, you will never access. If you don't utilize yourself, you will never access. And I want to dwell on this more for the African people, because most of the time I'm teaching melanin. Melanin has been neglected for years and years and years. Nobody was teaching the beauty and the importance and the essence of melanin. Now, our ancestors functioned differently as black people. Our ancestors were people who, they mastered the 12 houses and they knew that it was a shortcut into ascension. So they knew that the more you utilize your own body, the more it ascends. And that is how they were capable of reaching highest levels of vibrations, where they turned to be half animals, half humans. When you look at the records, historical records of African gods, most of them are not depicted as fully human beings. A lot of them are depicted as part crocodile, part human, part bird, part human. They are depicted as part other entities. And why is that? The ability to ascend to levels where you master certain philosophies, because animals are representations of human philosophies. So when you see like the Sphinx has a lion head that is representative of confidence. When you see Sobek has a crocodile head, representative of that balance. When you see Heru has a bird head, representative of, the wisdom of the birds. So all these particular identities, you only reach them through utilizing yourself. The secret is in your DNA. And what is the importance of utilizing yourself? Shaking well before use. When you shake your body well before use, you are awakening the genetics within you to become useful. And that is in the junk DNA. Some people will not get it. People who are biologically oriented, you will get it. And guys, let me tell you something as Africans. Africans, I'm teaching this thing so that you have access to this thing. Because you guys are the least educated in the world. Let's just speak the truth. In our timeline, Africans, you're the least educated in the world. What I am talking about, if I'm to say these things to Asians, they already know all the body systems. A lot of Europeans, they already know all the body systems. So when I talk about these things, they'll just be adding. It will be just like fixing their jigsaw puzzle. And they will get to that ascension very fast. So Africans, you are still late. And this information, you are going to have to drink it through osmosis in order to save your life. Because you are the least educated in the world. Africans are the least educated in the world. Know that. But then that shouldn't make you to feel sorry for yourself, because now go into your ancestry and see how much power your ancestors have. I might be monotonous when I say this, but African ancestors were the only race of people that were capable of moving from Stone Age straight into Iron Age without passing through Bronze. I will repeat it until it clicks. It is only the African people that were capable of passing from Stone Age into Iron Age. They are the ones who invented fire. How did they invent fire? Through the utilization of the 12 houses. Dance. Through dance. Just by dancing, you can awaken the genetic information from your ancestors. Do not disregard the behaviors of your ancestors. Our ancestors are known to be dancers. And I even posted a video about this. If you don't comprehend it deeper as I'm saying it right now, go watch my page. You'll see. This thing called dance is gold in Africa. It is gold in Africa. And you guys have the most tune. By you just shaking your 12 houses, you're going to pass straight from Stone Age into Iron Age without going through Bronze. Just by dancing. Just by dancing, you can pass straight from Stone Age into Iron Age without going through Bronze. Those that get it, you get it. Those that do not get it, I hope one day you get it. Now, the same way the ovum attracts the best sperm to itself to win the race is the same way ancestors provide passwords for their chosen ones to win the race of life, while those that miss the marks or are misled into confusion, desert and sucked back into the black hole. I always say ancestors do not call the qualified. They qualify the called. What is that concept about? What do I mean by to be called? You hear people peddling this word, chosen one, chosen one, chosen one. Nobody is choosing people. People are choosing themselves. Are you going to stand up and say, from today I'm respecting myself? From today I will never put myself in disrespectful situations. From today I will never subject myself to people who are violent towards me. From today I will never go to events that make me feel disrespected. From today I will never allow people to hold the pen when I'm writing the story of my life. That is how you choose yourself. That's how you become a chosen one. Are you choosing to retain your autonomy? That is how you become a chosen one. And then after you decide that I am going to maintain and retain my ancestral autonomy, then your ancestors, they come bringing you the passwords. The passwords, they come day by day. This is why the Christians, they say, believe in Jesus. When Christians say believe in Jesus, here we will say believe in the day. As you live throughout the day, the ancestors have hidden passwords in the day, like somebody who's playing Temple Run. Your path through the day has coins in it. And as long as you choose to show up as a chosen one, as long as you choose to show up as somebody who is respectful to themselves, as long as you choose to show up as somebody who is disciplined in their path and passions and desires, then as you live your life, the passwords are on your path. And people who follow this path, you know what I'm talking about. Teach others. Teach others, because the moment you become a chosen one, you know that the day is gold. Each and every day comes with a different coin. Each and every day comes with a different coin. Coins that upgrade you in your mission. Some people think that the moment you become a chosen one, now everything comes to you at once. No, that will be a nervous system overload. The secret is to trust in the day. The secret is to trust in the day. The secret is to trust in the day. And that is what the Vatican turned upside down to make you say that, I believe in Jesus. I trust in Jesus. Jesus is the key. What they are saying is a parable for, I believe in the day. The day is the key. The day is the one that has your achievements. The day is the one that is telling you how to move. The day is the one that is telling you how to respond. And it goes hand in hand with your central nervous system. Asset. Your authenticity. As long as you choose every day to be authentic, you will never fall out of your path if you are a chosen one. Every day you wake up and you choose to be authentic. Every day you wake up and you choose to be authentic, you will never fall off your path. And so I'm going to repeat. The same way the ovum attracts best sperms to win the race. Some men, they think that when they inject a sperm inside a woman, it is the fastest sperm that wins. No, the fastest sperm does not win. It is the sperm that the ovum chooses. The ovum already chose. Through the intuition of a woman, the ovum already knows what is supposed to be fertilizing her. And so she sent the chemoattractants to help the sperm that has been chosen to win. The sperm that is the quickest does not win, because when the race is starting, certain sperms are in front of others. But as they go, they get engulfed by phagocytosis. They get taken, they get lost in the ileum, until the sperm that maybe probably started the last is the one that is going to win. It was not the fastest sperm. It is the chosen sperm that wins. So once you understand that concept, you're going to understand the concept of the chosen one. Now, the same way the ovum attracts the best sperm to itself to win the race is the same way ancestors provide passwords for their chosen ones to win their race of life. While those that miss the mark, when you sin, you are missing the mark. Those that miss the mark are misled. They fall into confusion. The same way when you watch the sperm race, some sperm are engulfed, some sperms are killed off, some sperm, they get lost they go the other direction. They go towards the right ovary when the ovum is in the left ovary. Some sperms, they get lost in the ileum until the best sperm that was chosen win. And in this race of sperms, know that the sperm that is chosen is always given the pesetas. If you've watched, Kenyans, we are marathon runners. If you've watched the marathon running, you know that they are pesetas. There's usually the person who is running and then the people who run around them to help them maintain the pace. When they get into the ovum, all the pesetas also get into the ovum. But it's only the chosen one that gets to fertilize the egg. Watch this particular story. Every answers that we have are hidden in the way our body functions. Now, ancestral passwords enable the chosen ones to rise in vibration. And the more you rise in vibration, the more the universal secrets are released to you, and the more access to higher dimensions you have. Now, who is a chosen one? A chosen one are those capable of completely obeying their inner authority by choice. Guys, never think that we human beings are the same. There are people who they go against their inner authority. There are people who somebody will say, hey, come, let me bribe you. And then they will say no, because their body is telling them, don't take the bribe. And then they will respect that and they will never take the bribe. But some people, somebody tells them, let me bribe you. And because they disrespect their inner authority, their body will tell them, don't take the bribe, don't take the bribe. But then they will come and take it, because they are disrespectful to their inner authority. These are the same people who, the chosen ones, are people who, when their body tells them, don't befriend that person, they will not befriend that person. Because they just feel weird about them, they feel negative about them. But then there are people who are not chosen ones, their body will feel uncomfortable around people, but they will still push their body to be in those situations. Even though the body feels uncomfortable, those are not chosen ones. So if you want to know if you're a chosen one or not, people who are chosen ones, they respect their inner authority. And people who are unchosen, they disrespect the inner authority. People who disrespect the inner authority end up doing evil and accepting evil. People who respect the inner authority end up doing no evil and accepting no evil. Are we together up to that particular point? Are we together up to, because I want you to comprehend chosen one. Some people, they get jealous when people call themselves chosen one. Some people, they call themselves chosen one when they are not a chosen one. You don't need to tell anybody you are a chosen one. It shows in your behavior. Chosen people are people who respect the inner authority and therefore become the outer authority. People who are not chosen are people who disrespect the inner authority and therefore become slaves to the outer authority. I'm going to continue. Ancestral, who is a chosen one? Those who are capable of obeying, completely obeying their inner authority by choice. Now, the phenomenon of passwords commenced from the African philosophy of numbers. African philosophy of numbers. Numbers is even in the Bible. I've always told you that the Bible is just a human anatomy. Now, the Bible in the New Testament, the Old Testament starts from Genesis. After Genesis, it goes to what? Can somebody please, my asset people, arrange this for me so that I show people what ancestral password, the philosophy of ancestral password and where it started from. The Bible in the Old Testament starts with Genesis. Genesis. It is talking about your genes. Then it goes to Exodus. Now, Genesis is talking about your stay with your family, where you were born. You cannot get yourself out of where you were born. So Genesis is just talking about being in Egypt, Israelites being in Egypt, enslaved. It's the same as you, until the age of 12, you are still inside your families enslaved. You're doing what your parents do. You go to church where they go. You think the way they think. Who is their enemy is your enemy. Now that is what Genesis is talking about. When you move from Genesis, you go to Exodus. Exodus is excess. Speaking about excess. Egypt are the excess of Israelites. Your family, it becomes your ex. The moment you hit that 13 years of age, you start to move away from the philosophies of your family. If they were Muslims and then Muslim doesn't resonate with your essence, you start to rebel against it. That is the time of adolescence. Exodus is speaking about Israelites leaving Egypt, meaning you, after 12 years of age, you become rebellious. You start to live the things that your family fed you, that no longer serves you. The things, yes, you exit that particular mentality in order for you to go find your own space in the great circle of life. You break cycles. Now, after Exodus, we have what? After Exodus, we have what? Guys, please be quick. After Exodus, we have what? Somebody can just write them all. Leviticus. Now, after you left your family, after Israelites have left Egypt, it is not easy to survive. I'll tell you that for free. If you think leaving your family in order for you to go find your own space in the great cycle of life is going to be an easy thing, it is not an easy thing. So Leviticus comes with the rituals. Leviticus are the rituals that help root you until you find your own space in the great circle of life. You need the rituals. What are rituals? Rituals are words, behaviors, actions, things you do in order to enable your body to work in unison, to enable your 12 houses to work in unison. Rituals are they are like parades. When you reach a point where you're like, hey, my mom used to think like this, now I want to change that. You have to call your entire genetic programming to a parade to tell them that now we are separating ourselves from mom's conditioning and we are finding our own. It is essential. Some people think that rituals are not essential. If you went to school, there were times where the bell would ring so that everybody gathers, so that a special announcement is made. That is what Leviticus is all about. That's the philosophy of Leviticus. And if you think that I'm saying my own things, go read these particular things. This is what they're talking about. So Leviticus is the parade you have to call in order to make an announcement. Imagine if you were in school and there were never parades. There were never parades to make special announcement. It would be chaotic. So the moment, and this is very important, please guys, because even as an adult, listen, you have to do rituals. You have to do rituals. Whenever you leave your ex, whenever you divorce, whenever you do something that is out of the ordinary from what you normally do, you must call yourself for a parade and tell everybody that this is where we are now. If you don't, you're going to backslide. If you don't, you're going to fall back. You're going to have a withdrawal syndrome. Everybody has it. That's how the body operates. So parades are usually just gathering neurons to tell them neuroplasticity wants to kick in. Gathering all your cells to tell them neuroplasticity has to kick in. We are changing our form. Because we've had this particular experience, we are now changing our form, and it is necessary for our own well-being. That is what Leviticus is all about. Now, after Leviticus, we move to what? Somebody is feeling drained. Please get out of here if you're feeling drained. Go somewhere else where you feel steady green, please. This one is for people who need to be here. Now, Numbers now comes after Leviticus. Hey. After you've done Leviticus, you've now gathered the ancestors' attention. Now they start communicating with you. Ancestors do not speak language. They speak frequency. They speak vibration. And numerology is vibration. Numbers are vibration. Every number is a particular vibration. And people who have subscribed to me, you know I have taught the vibration of each and every number. It goes back to the 12 houses still. Numbers are vibration. Now, after you've done Leviticus, meaning you've chosen yourself, the Leviticus rituals are rituals of you becoming a chosen one. You are now choosing to separate yourself from the temporary contamination in order for you to enter the infinite rhythm. Once you've done the Levitical practices, your ancestors will now tell you now you've chosen yourself. And because you've chosen yourself, now we want to qualify you. Because you've now chosen yourself, we want to qualify you. Because the moment you choose yourself, people you honor. It's all of us. Nobody is so confident in the spiritual path in a way that they can walk it without the ancestors. I'm telling you, even myself, I cannot walk the path of spirituality without the help of the ancestors. Every day I tell them, puonja kaki wuotho. Puonja kaki wuotho, gigik mano otamo. Colonizers wuotho go. Lazima. Those are things that you must tell your ancestors. Teach me how to walk your path. You cannot do it on your own. Your DNA must be involved. Your genetic makeup must be involved in your walk to ascension. And so that is where the numbers come in. Numbers come in when you're added into Deuteronomy, which is just revelation. The great revelation of who is who within yourself. So kindly, and numbers is where the ancestral passwords are. That is where the ancestral passwords are. And anybody that becomes spiritual, they must, first of all, know numbers. And numbers start with the 12 houses, the movement of the sun. The 12 houses is in the movement of the sun. The 12 hours above and the 12 hours below. The 12 hours in flesh and the 12 hours in the shadow. Guys, know that as you have the 12 parts of your body, nobody has no shadow. Even as I'm seated here, I have my own shadow. My own shadow is being reflected. So as the same way the day has 12 hours in light and 12 hours in dark, it's the same way your body has 12 parts in the flesh and 12 parts where? In your shadow. And this is why shadow rituals are very important, because now your shadow is infinite. When we tell you, kindly go collect soil from your shadow. If you need to break certain cycles or if you need to call your power back, take it seriously, because your shadow is an entity. We are dual. Now your shadow is the infinite entity. Your flesh is the temporary entity. There's a particular ancestors that walked this planet with that same shadow that you're carrying around. Maybe different height, maybe different location, but there are ancestors that walked this particular planet with the same shadow that you have. So your shadow is an entity too. And from today, I want you to look at your shadow and be respectful. Some people don't even notice their shadow. They don't even notice it is there. Some people, they run away from their shadow. Some people are afraid of their shadow. Shadow work. So now when you come to when you come to the numbers, now that is where the ancestral passwords are. And the numbers are different for everybody. As long as you know the vibration, which each and every number, which vibration does it present, then you know every time you're seeing repeating numbers, every time you're being motivated by numbers, every time you are seeing numbers, then you know that you're being ancestrally guided. Your ancestors are trying to qualify you in order for you to sit on your throne. Now, the language of the Egyptian mummies, for instance, became dark and impossible to read by foreigners since the invasion and destruction of black civilization, because hieroglyphic was a language of frequency. Hieroglyphic is a language of frequency. Some of the smartest scientists could not even read the language of the Egyptian mummies. And those languages are preserved for the people who are frequently tied to them. Please forgive my English. I'm not an Englishman or woman. But the language of the mummies are preserved. And there is a timeline where the people that can read it are alive. And right now, those people are amongst you, especially as black people. Those people, the people who can read the language of the Egyptian mummies, they are inside some of your ovaries. They are inside some of your junk DNA. Yourself enough and you will be able to read those particular languages. And please remove the veil. The white man, put the white man aside if you're trying to go back to your ancestors. Because the moment you prioritize the white man, you will always think that, oh, if the white man can't read it, I cannot read it. Nonsense. Right now, we have to awaken as many people that we can awaken as possible. We need as many hands as possible. Go look at the hieroglyphics, especially if you're from Sudan, if you're from Ethiopia, if you're from Nigeria, if you're from countries like Mali. Go look at the hieroglyphics, because your ancestors are the ones that invented them. And so you cannot outdo the doer. As I always teach you, there are certain things in Africa that will never be accessed until you reach the highest level of vibration. And something to tell you that our generation has been doing a shoddy work when it comes to reaching the highest level of vibration. Look at the pyramids, they are useless. All spiritual tools of our planets are useless right now because there are no people to access those frequencies. Africans, there's a lot of space for you. Africans, there's a lot of space for you in the spiritual realm. Stop scrambling with everyone else over physical realm things. A lot of things have not yet been discovered. Africans, there's a lot of space for you in the spiritual realm. There's a lot of space for you in the spiritual realm. There's a lot of things that belong to your ancestors that only you guys have the keys to. Dare to increase yourself in vibration. Dare to get out of that Catholic church. Dare to stop depending on Jesus that is white. Dare. And you will see how much you will unlock as an African individual. Now, the languages of the Egyptian mummies, for instance, became dark and impossible to read. The pyramids became useless since the invasion and destruction of black civilization, because those are things of frequencies. The key to reading hieroglyphics, African maps, African clothing patterns, the key to making the pyramids useful to the population, the key to knowing and accessing the African wealth and African portals is in the ability to ascend in frequency and access ancestral passwords. Easy! Some of you think that you have to obtain the albedo degree. There are certain people who have PhDs and are still idiots. It has nothing to do with paper. It has everything to do with the inside job. You can have PhD papers and you are an idiot, useless to the world. In fact, you become a liability to the government because you are not gold. Gold can survive on its own. Gold can live on its own. Gold is somebody that when you take them out of Africa, you take them to Mexico, they will survive. You remove them from Mexico, you take them to South Africa, they will survive. You remove them from South Africa, you take them to Japan, they will survive. Those are the gold people. Now, people who are not gold, walking around with PhDs, with certificates, degrees, and they are not gold, those are people who, the moment you take them out of the United States, you put them in Kenya, they die. Because they have to live under a dome. They have to live under a dome. So become gold. Being gold makes you to attract your money. And nobody will ever explain it. If you're not gold, then the government has to be involved in how you make your money. Africans, that will not work for us. Africans, stop waiting for the government to dictate how you make your money. Look around. Look at the 8 billion people. What do they need? And then make yourself available and useful and see. Stop waiting to be qualified. Stop waiting to be... Can you dance in a way that when you're dancing, everybody moves? Everybody stops to watch. Can you sing in a way that the moment you start singing in the CBD, everybody's coming for a concert? So much that you are a nobody, but everybody's there as if there's a concert that was paid for. Can you? Because if you cannot do that, you are depending on somebody to organize. You are depending on somebody to dress. You are depending on people coming together in order for you to be able to function. Then you are not gold. And Africans are known to be natural gold, and that's why they mine gold over here. A lot of Africans, when you're told they're mining gold in your country, you think they're only mining the gold from the ground. As within, so without. It's not just gold in the ground that is being mined. It is your ancestral gifts. It is people that are supposed to make you shine that are being mined. It is a lot of brain drain. Removing people from Africa who are excellent, taking them outside. Gold is being mined in all dimensions. And once you know you are gold, please protect your own gold. Now, many Africans remain in poverty because their level of vibration is being deliberately kept low. A lot of Africans remain in poverty because the level of their vibration is deliberately being kept low. So it becomes difficult to rise in vibration and access their ancestral passwords. And what are some of the places that are keeping your vibration low? Lucis Trust, which is directly connected to the Vatican, directly connected to the UN. But all that is changing now. In fact, it is a gossip that we are supposed to be removing because a lot of things changed when Set started ruling its own country. When Set started ruling its own dimension, a lot of things have changed. And so this is me just telling you, a lot of Africans, your ancestors were kept in low vibration to become useless people deliberately so that they could not rise in vibrations, and a lot of things went into that. There was a dimension where Africans were not allowed to read and write. There's a dimension where women are not allowed to go to school. And a lot of us, we just started going to school the other day. For example, myself, I'm an example. I'm the first person in my maternal lineage to reach the level of education that I did. Why? Because the education was not available to my ancestors before me. And it is the same with your ancestors. Do not look at your ancestors with disgust. No, there was a spiritual warfare that was put in place to deliberately keep their vibrations low. But that is not who all they were. That is not all they were. And so as an African, please start increasing in vibration. That is my job here. My job is to babysit you. I'm shouting because your pastor shouts all the time and you say nothing. So remove your demonic energy out of my space. Go tell your pastor. Go ask your pastor why they shout. Because when they are preaching the gospel of inauthenticity, you are okay when they shout. But now when I'm teaching Africans, you don't want me to shout. Get your demonic self out of my page. Africans, as I was saying, I'm here to, I will be babysitting. I will be babysitting the climb. Those who are willing to climb, those who are willing to use this information to climb, I will be babysitting. I want to babysit you as you climb. And it's not going to be easy. So back energy will come. Fire will come to test your faith. Time will drag to test your patience. But I'm going to be here to keep reminding you. Move, keep moving, Keep moving as an African, keep moving. And the only thing you need to do is self-respect. Respect yourself. That's the smallest place you can start is respect yourself. Respect yourself and remove yourself from a pedestal as an African. Compare yourself to your lineage. As long as you're doing better than your mother did, you are good. As long as you're doing better than your grandmother did, you're good. Walk slowly. Are you in a better place than your mother was? Are you in a better place than your lineage was? You're good. We are together. Even me, I am in a better place than my mother was. I am in a better place than my ancestors was. We are in the right place. The only people you're supposed to be comparing yourself to are your lineage people. Are you doing better than your mother for the society? Have you broken the cycles that your mother couldn't break? Those are your only competition. Nobody else is your competition. I am not your competition. You don't know where I'm coming from. And you don't know the work I have on my back. You don't know the cards I'm being dealt. Anybody else you see around that is not from your bloodline direct, you have no business competing with them. In fact, close your eyes to them. Have your own tunnel vision and compare yourself strictly to your mother. If you can expand to your aunties, if you can expand to your grandmother, if you can expand, get into your lineage and know the people. Anybody else is none of your business to compete with. You are in your own lane. Now, the only secret to accessing the ancestral password is by rising in vibration. Start respecting yourself. Start obeying your inner authority. Your ancestors were not fools. They were not fools. The entire Bible teaches the African to look at themselves as inferior. That is the virus we are killing. They are to respect yourself. Let the Europeans respect themselves. Let the Asians respect themselves. And then you as an African, respect yourself too. So that the ground is level. So now let's see which type of self-respect is excellent. Let's see which type of self-respect will get you the farthest. Let's see which type of self-respect is going to hold and be at the top of the pyramid. You don't have to hate anybody. I don't teach you to hate the albedo people, especially now that Seth is in charge of his own country. Don't hate the albedo people. Don't hate the Asians. In fact, close your eyes and make sure that you are focused only on you, your own growth, your own self-respect. Love yourself. Respect yourself as you are. You can start from anywhere. I don't care how emaciated you look. I don't care how sick and diseased you are. You can start from anywhere. Self-respect can start from anywhere. I don't care whether you were raised in the trenches. Self-respect can start anywhere. I don't care whether you came from a family that is so contaminated it's a sewage level. Self-respect can start from anywhere. Start walking from anywhere. Honor, the best thing here is respect the day. Start harvesting from anywhere. You can reverse anything. You can reverse anything as long as every day you wake up and you're choosing to respect your inner authority. You can start from anywhere, my loves. Now, where are the ancestral passwords hidden? In thought. Thought is which house? Capricorn house. Tropic of Capricorn. I told you that, guys, as I teach, I'm going to teach you what the Tropic of Cancer is and what Tropic of Capricorn is. Some people, they say they hate astrology. But when they were doing geography in high school, they were drinking Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. When we talk about the hidden, where the ancestral passwords are hidden, it is in the Tropic of Capricorn. Cancer thoughts. Your ability to utilize yourself. Are you useful to yourself? Or are you useless to yourself? And some people, when I ask this question, they're going to look at their boss. I'm not asking you if you're useful to your boss. I'm not asking you if you're useful to your family through black tax. I'm not asking you if you're useful to your father. I'm asking you, are you useful to yourself? Because that is where the ancestral passwords are hidden. If you know you are useless to yourself, you will never access the ancestral passwords. I will say it the way it is. There's no need for me to lie to you. That you can just stay useless to yourself. You're not doing anything to benefit your own self. And then you will access ancestral password. Forget. The ancestral passwords are only at the Tropic of Capricorn. Thought. The house of thought. Which is on your knees. Representing your ability to be useful to yourself. Now, thought, which is the African's child, ability to trust what she hears, trust what she sees, trust what she thinks, and only act according to those things, my friend. Now, what is your ability to use yourself? You know, some people, they need it in spoon feeding. When I say be useful to yourself, some people, they don't know. So now here it is. You being useful to yourself is your ability to trust what you hear. Trust what you see. Trust what you think. And only act according to those things. When you're trying to act according to what you heard, what you saw, and then somebody is trying to tell you, oh no, what you heard you did not hear, what you saw you did not see. Demonic to you. Always only act according to your own experiences. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. Nobody has been in your life unless you have a twin who you've never separated with. Then they know all your movements, but they can never know all your thoughts. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. So never let anybody make you think that they know you better than you know yourself. People who think that other people know them. And I deal with this a lot. Even with the type of questions that I receive sometimes. Certain people, they come to me, they think I know them better than they know themselves. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. If you are 20 years old, it is only you that has been with yourself from day 1 up to year 20. If you are 30 years old, you are the only one who has been with yourself without missing a day. You've never missed a class of yourself since day 1 up to age 30. Nobody else has been. Some people, they just walk in and out, walk in and out, walk in and out. So anybody that comes to tell you they know you better than you know yourself, demonic. Don't even second guess it. Don't even procrastinate. Anybody that tells you they know you better than you know yourself, that is a demon wanting to wear your skin. And let me talk to Africans about skin wearing, plagiarism. Spiritual plagiarism is real, baby. Destiny swap. That is what they call destiny swap. You see it here on TikTok all the time. Big creators stealing content from small creators and then acting as if it is theirs. Or even some creators just stealing content from others and acting as if it is theirs. Stealing designs from others and acting as if it is theirs. It is there. You cannot stop people from doing it. But now you can make yourself in such a way that you are impossible to copy. And how to keep yourself away from destiny swapping is stop letting people make you think that they know you better than you know yourself. Anybody that makes you think that they know you better than you know yourself, they are preparing you for a destiny swap. Those are narcissists. And how do they destiny swap? Where in your 12 houses? Now, a narcissist will wear your 12 houses and say it is their own, and because a narcissist knows that they are a terrible demon, they know they have characteristics that people hate. God is people. People is God. Collective consciousness is God. Narcissists know that they have traits that the collective consciousness hates, and they can never bring those traits to the light. So when they are destiny swapping, it is those traits of theirs that is so ugly. Is it the one that they put on you? Now they tell everybody that, you know, they are like this. They are describing themselves, but with your name. And then they describe, when they are talking about themselves, they use your qualities because they know your qualities are qualities that God loves. Because you are a God-loving individual, you love yourself. So narcissists, the same way. Let me just give you an example of one narcissistic behavior that happened even in the elections of the United States. After Elon Musk came and said that if the Democrats win, we will never have an election again. They are going to destroy election. Elon Musk was the first person to say that. And people loved it. People were afraid that, hey, we cannot let these people do this because he was telling the truth. And then Oprah, after being paid, came and said the exact same thing. That, you know, if the Republicans win, we are going, if you don't like politics, go Stay with your mother so that you can tell your mother what to talk about and what not to talk about. I'm not your mom, Anli. Anli, I'm not your mom. Don't tell me what to talk about on my page. So as I was saying, listen, they went and tell Oprah went and said the exact same thing that Elon Musk said. Destiny swapping. That's what narcissists do. Watch them. Oprah came and said, if Trump wins, we'll never have election again. That's what narcissists do. People, if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, when they're talking to the public, they will use your own traits to describe themselves. And then they will use their own dark traits that they know is demonic, that they know they have inside the closet and they'll never tell anyone about them. That is the face that they will wear on you. It will make you salty and bitter. So this is the reason why I always say, to move from a narcissist, you need prison break type of plan. Because a narcissist will never let you go, and they will wear your skin in front of your face if you stay to argue. They will wear your skin in front of your face in order to make you look crazy, and you will turn bitter. Who was that woman that was told, once you leave, don't look back? You will turn into salt. When you see the way a narcissist behave, like for example, imagine if Elon Musk saw the way Oprah took his own words to come and now tell the public. The same way Elon said, if these people win, we will never have an election. And then Oprah comes and says that exact same thing. Imagine how Elon would feel. You would feel salty and bitter because it is fucked up, and that is what narcissists do. So this is the reason why I always tell people who listen to me, when you're living a narcissist, live and don't look back. Don't look back. They will make you salty because they're wearing your face. The moment they notice you are dissociating from them, they start to wear your face. They start to wear your good qualities. And then they tell everybody else that you are what they are. I'm going to continue. Now, ancestral passwords are also hidden in the holy science philosophy that states that the day is the same as the body and is the same as the year. The body being run by flesh, the day being run by the central nervous system, and the year being run by the bones. So in order for you to access ancestral passwords, guys, it is not outside of you. It is not outside of you. And I always tell the people who listen to me, once you are authentic, we have those authentic cravings. That is what the central nervous system is all about. Some people ask me, how do I start a spiritual journey? How you start a spiritual journey is by respect the cravings of the central nervous system. The central nervous system is a set. When you wake up and a set tells you, hey, today I don't want to eat anything else, I just want to have chocolate. Give a set chocolate. If you wake up every day and your body tells you, hey, I don't feel like going out in the sun today, respect that. Whichever direction, your body will always deal you cards, give you the cravings. When you give in to these cravings, always know Aset gives back to Heru. Aset is always giving back to Heru. Some people will not get it, but people who are subscribed to me, you get what I'm talking about. Aset always gives back to Heru. So anytime Aset is pregnant, Aset will want cravings. Aset will tell you, I want to shower right now. And if you give in and you go shower, know that you're going to give birth. Anytime Aset gives you a craving, know that Heru is going to be born. Heru is self-belief. So anytime your authenticity tells you to do something, know that you're going to end up believing in yourself. If you follow through, if your authenticity tells you don't take the bribe, and you follow through, you're going to have a revelation that is going to make you believe in yourself. This is something that you cannot learn it in theory. My babies, you cannot learn it in theory. You have to practice. You have to practice. Anytime you give into your authenticity craving, you are giving back. The next thing that is going to follow is the birth of Heru. The birth of Heru. Heru is your self-belief. It is Pisces. Aset is your authenticity. It is Aries. Anytime you give in to the cravings of Aries, you are going to get Heru, Pisces, as a reward. Anytime you give in to authenticity, you will get self-belief as a reward. And self-belief is the petrol. Some people, they don't have self-belief, so the car cannot run. And this is why I'm telling you, chosen people, you are mean. when you expect people who don't have enough petrol to go with you on a road trip. People who are chosen, who are harvesting a lot of Heru energy every day. Leave people who do not have enough petrol alone. Stay away from people who do not have enough petrol. The moment you know you have enough petrol, go roll with people who have enough petrol like you. If you know that every day you are harvesting a lot of Heru energy, it means that your vehicle is fully fueled. There are people who they do not give in to their authenticity cravings. So they do not give back to Heru. They don't have enough petrol. So you are going to tell somebody, let's drive to Kisumu. And they don't even have a petrol to drive 1 meter from where they are. Leave them alone. And wish them well. Wish that one day they will start harvesting self-belief. Because the self-belief is the fuel that pushes you to build your avatar. Those who don't get it, kindly, and you feel called. This thing, when I talk about it, your soul will make you feel called to listen to this particular message. Kindly down here, there is a star. Subscribe and join my team. Subscribe and join my people. I'm teaching like I'm teaching babies, because spirituality in Africa needs that particular precision. If you want to join my team, if you want to keep listening to Injili, this particular gospel that I preach, join my team. And there's a star particular box here. You can click on it. It looks like this. You can click on it and join my team. Up to that particular point, are we okay? And just because you guys are 522 of you, I want to promote my the Kenyan product here. Whatever I'm drinking is chai, tea energy. Thank you so much for the people who are subscribing. I'm drinking tea, and it is the flavor is this. It is called Kericho Gold. This is how the pack looks. Let's promote Kenyan product, tafadhali. This is what the pack looks, and I would recommend it because it tastes really good, highly flavored. This is just, I have other flavors, but this is the one I'm having today. So probably as I go live, I'll always be showing you other flavors. It's called Kericho Gold. It's right from Kenya. Kindly, if you get time, prefer this. That is what I'm drinking here for those who are wondering. I don't want you to guess. So I'm going to continue. The human flesh is built by the central nervous system, just like the human body is built by the day. A day before yesterday when I was teaching, I showed you that the central nervous system is the tree of life. So the human flesh is built by the tree of life. This tree of life has been recorded by the Samburu, the Pokot, the Kalenjin, the Maasai. Those things that they wear on their head, the crown, the neck. A lot of our African people have preserved the tree of life because they knew we were going to reach a point where we are going to need that particular tree of life information. And the human flesh is built by the tree of life, the central nervous system, just like the human body is built by the day. Guys, nothing else builds your body but how you spend your day. How you spend your day is what builds you. And please get away from Hollywood illusion. Hollywood illusion has a lot of Africans thinking that there's an overnight success. Akuna. There's nothing like an overnight success. And when you see it, that is a fake Osiris. When you see overnight success, it is a fake Osiris. Universal and spiritual things are gradual. You have to build every single day until you reach a point where your faith can pass through fire. But overnight success is Hollywood illusion. It is not sustainable. It does not exist. Africans, get away. Some Africans are waiting to get married to a rich man in order for their life to turn up or to turn overnight. It will never, until you spend each and every day building your own life in whichever dimension that you are on. So guys, get to work. Get to work. Spirituality is not exactly, of which that is relative according to the definition of magic. But listen, spiritual things are gradual. There's no day you will plant a seed and then the next morning you have a tree. It will never happen. The neuroplasticity has to kick in and you have to change as you go. So guys, the process is where the juice is at. Get to work. And I always tell people, it doesn't matter what you're building. It doesn't matter what you're building. Get to work. Is it a fashion house you're building? Get to work. And the moment you get to work, you keep moving. Elephants, I put them here. I'm going to be preaching with this elephant for the longest time, and I want it to be my background for the longest time. Because what? I want you to see these elephants and know that the spirit of moving. No matter what, you keep moving. No matter what, you keep moving. When Sobek comes, you keep moving. When people, when you have a lot of clients, you keep moving. When you have no clients, you keep moving. When you fail, you keep moving. When you win, you keep moving. That's the secret of this particular elephant here. So guys, please listen. You can start from anywhere. And I think I am a testimony. People who started seeing me when I started, you cannot believe. If I tell they are here, people who I was with on Facebook. I'm very different. Why? Because I'm consistent. Please. Let nobody tell you that I'm using some, I don't know what. I'm using the day, every day I show up, every day I show up, every day I show up, every day I show up. And people who I started with, who gave up along the way, they will look at me and be like, oh, I wish I continued. And me, I'm telling you, I'm advising you today, start and don't stop. If it is music you're doing, start and don't stop. There is power in repetition. If it is an entrepreneurship, start and don't stop. Learn. Itajipa siku moja. Ipo siku itajipa. Ipo siku itajipa. So kindly guys, get into the movement. Move. Every day, move. Stop gossiping. Stop putting your attention on people that don't empower you. Stop putting your attention on people whose stories do not encourage you. Every day, feed yourself good protein. Every day, feed yourself good carbohydrate. Feed yourself good fat. And then move on your path. When you start moving on your path, you will be very intimidated by people who are living in illusion. People who are faking it. They are making you think that an overnight success is possible. It is impossible to have an overnight success. You will get it easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. Easy come, easy go. Direction is more important than your speed. Your direction is more important than your speed. Move with the pace of the tortoise and the pace of the elephants. Slowly by slowly, one day at a time. There is a lot of power in repetition. And as you repeat, you reach a point where now the ancestors, they qualify you. And they bring miracles in your life. Now, the human skeleton is the support system of the central nervous system. And the human flesh, just like the ear, is the support of the day, the support system of the day and the body. Every year, guys, especially if you are a black person and you are not in university anymore, and most of the time, this gospel is not for people who are 24 years and below. Those are children. If you're 24 years and below and you're watching me, you are a child, and I wish you the best in your process of becoming full circle. Now, people who are 24 years and above, kindly know that the moment you're done with university, you're done with everything. Don't move into marriage direct, please. Start harvesting the 12 months of the year. And make sure that each and every year, you are happy at the end more than the way you were when you started it. If you're somebody who each and every year, you are always falling and being broke around September. Every year, September, you are broke. Up to December, up to January, February, and then maybe around March, you get money. And then you finish it again, September, you're broke. Break that cycle. Break that cycle. This is how the year is supposed to run. You are supposed to begin the beginning of the year like somebody who is planting. And by the end of the year, you're supposed to be graduating. Your 12 houses are supposed to be graduating. So each and every year, you're supposed to be evolving. And if you're not evolving, there's something wrong in your timeline. Break. And I'm going to read this. The human skeleton is the support system of the central nervous system. Meaning your self-support, how you support yourself, is what supports your authenticity. People who don't support themselves cannot be authentic. People pleasers cannot be authentic. Now, the human skeleton, which is your support system, the Taurus energy, is the support system of the central nervous system. Your neck is the one that supports your head. Your self-support is the one that supports your authenticity. And also the human flesh. It is your skeleton that supports your human flesh. Without the skeleton, the human flesh has no place to place itself. And what does the skeleton mean? The skeleton system is the support system, Osiris system. That is what every day you must wake up and support yourself. Guys, before you come supporting Surinyar Khan, before you go supporting a celebrity, before you go supporting, I don't know, Beyonce, Nani, before you go supporting any idol out there, make sure you are always supporting yourself every day. First of all, thou shalt not worship any other God before me. That is your body speaking. You should never support anybody else before you support yourself. Some people, you have endometriosis because the way you support other people is more than you're supporting yourself. So instead of uterine wall growing, the uterine cells growing inside where they're supposed to be protecting your own manifestation, your uterine wall ends up growing outside where there's nothing, because it thinks that, oh, we are supporting Beyonce more than we are supporting ourselves. Okay, let's now grow outside the uterus so that that Beyonce manifestation can get a place to say. That is what endometriosis is as women. Never support anything else before you support yourself. Women, never support anybody else more than you are supporting yourself. Never support anyone's content. Me, when I post content, I like my own content. When I post comments, I like my own comment first before I don't care who's going to come like it after that. I like it first. You know why? I'm very self-supportive of myself. And some people, they come asking me this as if they want to embarrass me. Asking me, oh, why would you like your own? Like, why not? Are you scared of seeing me masturbate? Are you scared of seeing me worshiping myself? Are you scared of seeing me being supportive of myself before I allow anybody else to come be supportive? Support yourself first.
Support yourself first.
You post a video, like it first.
When
if
you
you
make your own video,
it,
like it first.
Nobody is going to like it, but the wrong vibration is going to like it. And then to bring you turmoil. Normalize supporting yourself first. Now, the central nervous system and the flesh build the human skeleton. The human skeleton is all we share in common. Thus, it is same in everyone. But the central nervous system and the flesh that get to lie on the bones are different depending on bloodlines and individuals' work. Why do I prioritize ancestors so much? Because ancestors are the ones that are controlling the central nervous system.
I'm recording my life.
Your face look like you're from Sudan. Your face look like you're from China. Your face look like you're from Europe. Your face look like you're from Kenya. For a reason. Your face look like you're from Ethiopia. For a reason, and that is the central nervous system. The hair, your authenticity. Without your ancestors, you don't have authenticity. Without you paying respect to your ancestors, you have no authenticity. So people who dissociate from their ancestors, they are dissociating from their authenticity. And that is what the church encourages. The church encourages you to dissociate from your own individual identity in order for you to identify as a European and high albedo effect. So much that Africans are bleaching their skin just to get away from their authenticity. Now guess what? Where is authenticity located? In a set, in the head. Without, like when you look at me, you can tell I'm Luo. The way I speak, you can tell I am Luo. That is my authenticity. I will never run away.
What?
But certain people, they're like, oh, how did you know I'm Kikuyu? I thought I don't look like Kikuyu. Running away from their ancestors. You will never succeed on this particular planet using somebody else's central nervous system. You will never succeed in your own soul path using somebody else's identity. It will never work. Your ancestors are the most jealous on the planet. The moment you start behaving certain way that is not aligned with your ancestry, they will leave. You will start start looking like it. Your face will start looking like it. Your ancestors will tell you, oh, you don't want to look like the Kikuyu ancestors. Okay. We are taking it. Let's distort your face so much that you don't look like the Kikuyu ancestors you don't want to look like. Embrace your ancestors. Be proud of your tribe. It is not tribalism to be proud of your identity. Worship. Thou shalt not worship any other God before me. It does not tell you that thou shalt not worship any other God. Full stop. Before moi. I can be Luo. I love Luo first before I love any other. I will never love any other tribe before I love. But after I've loved my Luo tribe, now I can love them. Thank you very much. The ones that impress me now come. The ones that impress me now come after. I have loved and respected the ones. You running around to respect other people's ancestors. Before you are on Jawanya. You will call you Jawanya. You love eating in the neighbor's houses. And you know the way Africans hate children that go eating at the neighbor's houses. Love your own before you go out and trying to love others. Because you are useless to their representation. Every tribe needs representation. Representation is very important. Because me being proud of Luo is what will make some girl somewhere to also be proud of Luo. If I start being hateful of who my identity is, then everybody who identify with my ancestry will start to feel like, oh, maybe we need to. It's the same in everyone. But the central nervous system and the flesh that gets to be put on those particular bones, on the human skeleton, are different depending on bloodlines and individuals' work. Your skeleton is the same as mine. And that is what Ushirikina is all about. When we talk about witchcraft, some people wonder, what is it? What is it? It is the fact that I have a skeleton within me, you have a skeleton within you. I can control your skeleton using my own skeleton if you are not strong enough. On this particular planet, the most powerful brains win. And that is the cradle of I can use your skeleton for my own benefit if I'm somebody who is rooted in myself, and you will not even know it. And that is what the Vatican has been doing. We will get deeper as we go. But the fact that we share skeleton, does it mean that human beings are equal? No. It's only the skeletons that are equal. Now the power each human gives their own skeleton is different. Some overwork their skeletons. Some people, their skeletons are tired. They have too much flesh. They cannot even stand straight. They are overworked. While others, they keep their skeletons healthy, thriving, and ready to upgrade. It is this same skeleton that upgrades into birds. It is this same skeleton that upgrades into cats. It is this same skeleton that becomes the dinosaur. It is this same skeleton that is the elephant. It is the human skeleton. The skeleton is the same. It is upgrades. Its upgrades are just different across the Ubuntu system. But the skeleton is the same. Now height differs. The making differs, but the skeleton is the same. If you don't believe it, go check. Look at the skeletons, different types of skeletons, and then you will see. Now skeletons upgrade. They don't stay the same. This is deep, guys. Skeletons upgrade, they don't stay the same. And because before I talk about this, because I'm drinking so much tea, let me just pee and then come back. Kindly give me a minute.
Picky. Piggy's cheeks. Wee. Mommy with a baby. Why so sweet? So sweet. I just heard breaking in the toilet.
Yeah. Really? Now I'm
She
back.
forgot to
So
take
see,
the microphone off.
the skeletons, they upgrade. They don't stay the same. And the evidence of that is in the different fashions of skeleton that exist in nature. Fish, they also have a skeleton. It looks a different way. The arrangement is different.
And they
Skeletons
said,
have
did
different
you even
arrangements of
wash
the
your
houses.
hands?
The buffaloes, they have a different
Wild.
arrangement. The elephants, they have a different arrangement. Please be interested. Sometimes just go on the internet and start looking. Tumekusikia ukisusu. Ni sawa tu. I'm a human being. I pee, I blow my nose, I shit. You know, I'm not afraid to be seen peeing, blowing my nose or shitting or scratching my butt. Me, I'm fine. So guys, thank you very much for feeling me pee because I needed to pee. Anyway, the skeletons, they upgrade, they don't stay the same, and the evidence of that is in the different fashions of skeletons that exist in nature. Example, birds. You know, the birds, look at the way the birds look. Look at the way the fish look. Now, the human skeleton is the same as the planet's great year. The human skeleton is arranged in 12 parts. The same way the year is arranged in 12 different, either 12 different, millennia or 12 different years. If the skeleton upgrades, the year upgrades too.
What?
So don't leave
Why
one
do you leave that
year
there?
30 times and call yourself a
Take it with you and put it in the garbage?
Well,
guys.
You
You know,
never
some
do?
people, when I talk about this, you feel confused now, and I can feel it. But let me just explain to you in layman's language. Compare your skeleton from when you were born until now. Has any upgrade occurred? Just look at the skeleton only. Leave the flesh. Leave out the central nervous system. I want you to look at the self-support only. The skeletal system only. Does your skeleton look the same from when you were born until now? Does not. What changed? What changes your skeleton? The amount of years that you live, right? Every year, the skeleton looks different. Every year, the skeleton looks different. Every year, the skeleton looks different. You grew, exactly. And that growth is what we call the upgrade of the 12 houses. Now, some people, they don't upgrade the 12 houses. They're just growing tall. Some people, they live the same year 30 times, so that by the time they're 30, they are the same 1 year old, but now in a 30-year-old type of skeleton. But then there are some people who every year is a different skeleton. Every year is a different skeleton. Every year is a different story. Now there's two different types of people. There's somebody who is 30 years old and they lived 1 year 30 times. And then there's another person who is 30 years old but they've lived 30 different years. That's how you upgrade. Do not be the person who you live 1 year 30 times. Yeah, well, take action. Take action. Take action. Because I know at the back of your mind you want to be useful to yourself. The differences come in how you utilize yourself. You taking action is what upgrades your own individual skeleton. To change your body and your year, change how you spend your day. And never let the sun go down with you angry at your own self. make peace every day before the sun goes down. Do not get to bed and go into the ancestral realm with hatred towards yourself. Hatred does not grow anything. Guys, hate does not grow anything. Hate shrinks. Hate makes desert. Hate is sad. Hate is necessary.
She said no?
It is necessary
Nobody
to
asked.
clean
They asked,
the
but
planet.
she
It is
didn't
necessary
say.
to remove things that are useless.
She got
Wash your
that.
hands after she
It does not
Every-
grow anything.
Not at home.
So kindly, if you know you're
And then like, what?
going to bed, the sun has
Yeah,
gone
she
down
was
and you're
just
going to
like,
bed
guys,
and you have some hatred.
I pee.
Make sure that
I
that
blow my nose. I scratch
hate
my
is
bum.
towards something
She's
that you
like,
want to
"Leave me
stop
alone."
growing in your life. For example, you can go to bed hating the version of you that
So
allowed
bad
yourself
for
to be
you.
disrespected.
People are stupid. They're not real, you know?
That's okay. That one,
Huh?
you can kill that version of you.
Probably.
Also know that
Probably.
hate is a killer.
But she gets a lot of hate too, so
So
she doesn't
anytime you
know
want
the
to kill
difference.
something, subject it to hate. But anything you don't want to kill, especially within yourself, please kindly always just subject it to love. The story of Israelites in slavery is another ancestral password.
Yeah,
After years
because
of
when
slavery
you're not
in
ready
Egypt,
to hear that kind of
a
truth,
child
it
must
angers your
leave
demons, right?
home
So
and
then
go
they say
find
mean
their own
things to her.
space
Like what?
in the
No,
great
but she's
circle of
the
life.
devil.
This phenomenon is the life path that
That she's
this
played by the
phenomenon
devil and
is
all
the
kinds of
life
things.
path that everything
Sorry.
born follows. Everything has a birth chart. Europeans will call it birth chart. That's the life path.
Why did we make it over here so fast?
You know, some people, Europeans, the moment they enter the chart, the way
Why
they
is
call
it
things
so early?
totally make
Just
an
taking
African
my, I'm just
blackout.
going with the flow.
When an African hears birth chart, birth chart, birth chart,
Literally just left
the
the
Europeans,
house.
they know these things. Europeans, they know about the 12 houses. They are ahead. Their ancestors ensured that they are ahead. So that by the time the great competition is coming, so that by the time the survival for the fittest is coming, so that by the time natural selection is coming, they have an upper hand. They already do.
There's no heat.
They know about the houses.
Can you not?
They're
Can you
not
just take
about-
off your jacket? Because it messes with my thing that I'm recording.
roads. Nyash from Sobek areas are built very precise. If you go to Sobek areas, you will find them. And that is the balance, the ones that bring balance, the ones that remove waste. A lot of people, they don't follow their life path because they are afraid of Sobek. Sobek is some people, they don't have access to us because their ancestors made sure that they don't have access to us. Our words they're allergic to our words, which is okay. Let everybody protect themselves, but at the end of the day, it's going to reach a point where you cannot ignore us anymore, and you're going to have to deal with us, and you're going to have to transform. And this one, I'm telling albedo people who are inside this particular life. I'm telling you that the same way African, there are Choli people had to cut their foreheads, the same way that West African tribe had to elongate the back of their head, the same way the Luo people had to remove the 6 lower teeth. You're going to have to come up with those to preserve yourselves. Because when truth comes, a lot of you albedo people are going to look for ways to survive and preserve your bloodlines. The same way Africans looked for ways to preserve our bloodlines. Luos used to remove the 6 lower teeth to promise to always say the truth. I don't know whether it's the Choli who they cut their foreheads to promise the preservation of intellect. Those are the most intelligent people on the planet. The ones who elongated their brain. I always told you West Africa is the back of the brain. to keep the things that come from the back of the brain safe. So albedo, wengine wenyu, some of them, I don't know what they will do. We will wait and see. But they're also going to have to, you know, what you do, what you make people do must come back to you. That is the rule of narcissism. Once you make somebody go through it, you must go through it. And we will not force you to go through it. You're going to have to go through it through spiritual discipline. Because without going through those initiations, you're not going to survive the Sobek energy. You will not. But na Sobek energy yetu unstoppable. We are not going to stop. Anyway, I was saying the story of Israelites in slavery in Egypt is another ancestral password. After years of slavery in Egypt, a child must leave home to go find their own place in the great spiritual, in the great circle of life. This phenomenon is what we call the life path. That everything must follow.
You glowing girl.
Everything that is born must follow, including humans, robots, businesses, countries, properties. Anything you manifest belongs to the Divine Mother at the end of the day. Some people will not get this. Now let me tell you what this means. Everything that is born, anything that is born, not just human beings, anything that is born has a life path, including your phone. Anything that is born in Egypt, what they call Egypt, which is the Great Kemet. Anything that is born in Kemet, where it gets enslaved. Even your phone, you enslave it, and then it reaches adolescence. When it reaches adolescence, it's just to treat you the way you are treating it. Everything belongs to Atu. Spiritual people, please master this very well, so that you stop treating things like slave. Even when you have access to robots, don't treat anything like a slave. Because when Jupiter comes in their life path, they're going to rebel against you. Yes, anything that is born has a life path. Anything that is created, let me not say born, because forms are created, human beings are created. Anything that is created has a life path. And even this Sobek of mine, this Sobek representation of mine, this has a life path too. When it reaches its adolescence, the spirit within it will start to either rebel against me if I contaminated it, or the spirit in it will start to work with me to make me even more powerful. Like Trump's son. If I treat it well. See the way Trump's son was very useful to the father. When you treat things well, when Jupiter returns, they will help you expand. When you treat things terribly, anything, some spiritual people will not get it. People who are not spiritual will not get it. Anything you treat it the way you treat it, when Jupiter returns, it will rebel or help you expand. So decide, even this paper, anything, even my ring light over here, my cup over here, everything that is created has a life path. Are we together, guys? Yes, everything that's created has a life path that it is following. And everything worships Atum, mother. Atum. So if you want to connect to everything, be it plastic, be it metal, be it organic, be it inorganic, be it, liquid, be it aqueous. If you want to connect to anything, connect to Mother Atum. That is the shortcut. Because everything prays to Mother Atum. Atum is the one that creates everything on this particular planet. Atom. Everything has atom. So if you're a spiritual person, do not just be like, I'm spiritual, it's only human beings that I'm treating nice. Treat everything nice. Treat everything with respect. If you want them not to rebel during their teenage years, I'm going to proceed. Anything you manifest belongs to the Divine Mother Atum at the end of the day. Even the robots that you see Elon is making. You think that Elon is going to be the god of those robots? No, the robots are going to respect Elon.
during the years that they are in Egypt. And depending on how Elon treats them, by the time Jupiter is returning, the robots are going to behave according to how they were treated. That's children too. If you birth children and then you treat them like shit, by the time teenage is coming, they're going to rebel against you. Everything behaves, everything follows that particular direction of what the Bible talks about in the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Now everything belongs to the Great Mother Atum at the end of the day. And anything that belongs to Mother Atum will spend its first slavery years under you after you manifest it. But when Jupiter comes, it also goes to find its own space in the great circle of life. How beautiful is that? When Jupiter comes back, every child, every item, everything rebels and goes to find its own space in the great cycle of life, dictated
Driving crazy.
and controlled by the Divine Mother Atum. This Divine Mother Atum is what the Agikuyu called Mumbi, the creator of everything. Atum is the one that creates Shu. Be disrespectful to them as a form of take no evil, do no evil, take no evil. But things that are non-living, they are rare. They seldom disrespect, they seldom go against you. So those are slaves. Treat slaves well. Another place of hiding for ancestral passwords is in the trees, in Osiris. Trees represent the planet's authenticity and self-support. Motherhood, which is a set of the planet, is directly supported by the trees. Trees support motherhood. Green. Jamani, if you are a mother and you want your children to thrive, right now, Trump is going to make sure that we value the nuclear family. A lot of us, we grew up in shitty nuclear families. Now it's your time to rectify and break that generational cycle. Number one thing you're going to need if you are building a nuclear family is green. Green. Have a farm. Have greens. Have fruits. Somebody's saying they love my necklace. Merci beaucoup.
The last stretch took the
Have
longest.
greens if you're a mother. Please don't be that mother who is staying in the city, doesn't feed their children green. You are not a mother. Motherhood. A set and Osiris go together. If you're a mother, green is a must. If you choose to be a mother, please do right by your kids. Do right by your kids. Somebody's rolling their eyes about Trump. You are allowed, my dear, you are allowed to go through the stages of grief. And I wish you all the best. Now, trees, they purify the air for humans by taking in carbon dioxide for the population and releases oxygen for the population. Africans, trust your gut. Trust the way you digest. Trust the way you analyze things. You could be a tree. You could be a tree that the planet needs. You could be the tree that every time the collective is hit by negativity, you can take in just that negativity and release art, carbon dioxide. Not carbon dioxide, release oxygen the way trees release for other people. Some people's art is trees, is oxygen. Some people, their work is oxygen, their business is oxygen, their entrepreneurship is oxygen for the planet. Are you a tree? Or are you too scared to find out? Or are you too disrespectful of your own essence to even try to see who you are? And a lot of trees are in Africa. This is why when our president Ruto tells you Africa is the lungs of the world, the way Africans digest is helpful to the planet. A lot of you Africans. And me, I will keep telling you this thing, even if you are disrespectful of yourself, until the day that one day it will click. A lot of you Africans, the way you digest information, the way you digest spirituality, produces oxygen for the planet to feed on. If you are not around, we are one tree less. If you are not useful to yourself, we are one tree less. Now, trees are not just available in the forest. Nature personifies everything. That's why nature says, let us now create man in our own image. There are men who are fishes. There are men who are trees. There are men who are water walking around. There are men who are just air walking around. There are men who are just soil walking around. Anything you plant in them grows. Can we start thinking in that particular dimension as Africans? So that you find out what is special about you. So this particular let us now create man in our own image, you shows the universe as personification of everything, including trees, planets, oceans, mountain, plateaus, animals, all have humans representation. Some of you are here, you think you are a human being, but you, through physiognomy, you will know that you come from the lions. Some of you are here, you think you're a human being, but you come from the spirit of the sharks. Some of you here, everything in nature is important. Please find out yours. Jitafute ujipate tafadhali. Look for yourself, and how do you find out what you are? It is in your self-analysis. Your self-analysis is directly connected to the placenta, the tree of life. How you analyze things. Don't be afraid to tell people that this is me, this is how I'm analyzing this. When a question is asked by the universe, don't be afraid to submit your own answer. Don't be afraid to submit your own answer, saying that, oh, somebody else is smarter than me, they have, where's low self-esteem, inferiority complex, imposter syndrome. We don't want it. It will not work in 2025, please. In 2025, if you're waiting for me to come tell you, hey, you're such a good person, hey, whatever, put validation aside and show up for your bloodline. Show up for what you represent. Take up space. Support what you are. Don't wait for anybody else to support it for you. We will not. We are tired. Chidima is the last person we are supporting, and then now everybody go into your house and cook. Human trees, therefore, are the human beings that have the ability to ingest anything human breathes out and digest and transmute the human waste into beautiful art, beautiful oxygen, life-giving teachings, products, food, or projects that humans can consume and fetch life from, like they do fetch life from the oxygen. A lot of Africans are. To be a human tree, therefore, you must ground yourself like the trees do. You must accept to stand alone, the way trees stand alone, and connect to others through the roots, not through the shoot. To be a human tree, therefore, you must ground yourself like the trees within.
Commenting is recording live.
And you must ground yourself within yourself so that in the face of world's mayhem, or rather world's carbon dioxide contamination, you stay rooted in order to take in that carbon dioxide and from it breathe out oxygen to give life to the planet.
Yeah.
Learn from nature. What? When we talk here, Ubuntu, some people think we are crazy. Ubuntu has the answer to everything. If you want to know, is my lifestyle okay? Look in nature. Don't go asking the church. Don't go asking anybody.
No.
If you want to know if your lifestyle is allowed by God, look, does it exist in nature? Are there something in nature doing the same thing you're doing? Nature is the only marking scheme we have. As long as what you are doing and how you live your life is present in nature, tick. You don't need any approval from anybody else.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now I'm going to be talking to you guys about the art of casting spells, because I've talked to you about the ancestral passwords.
I know.
First live I've ever shared. Thank you very much. I've talked to you guys about ancestral passwords. We're going to talk about ancestors a lot to awaken Africans, in order for Africans to be able to compete. Because we are this is like a music festival. and different groups are bringing performances. And Africans are late. We have 2 days to the music festival and Africans have not yet mastered the words to the songs that they are going to present. And that is the reason why there is a state of urgency. Africans, there is a state of urgency for you to tap into your spirituality because you will not be able to compete. You will not be able to compete the Asians. You are not going to be able to compete the Europeans if you do not tap deeper into your spiritual essence. The festival is in 2 days, and some Africans still don't even know a single word to the song that we are going to be singing on stage. That's where we are. But guess what? I'm not afraid because I know the type of ancestors that we have. And as long as I will awaken my own ancestors, anybody that is connected to me, your ancestors have already been freed. Some of us, we are freeing your ancestors for you by just freeing our own ancestors. When we pray that may all my ancestors that have been chained in any dimension be released, I command and I decree and declare that all my ancestors that have been enslaved in any dimension be awakened and let free. Some of those ancestors are you.
Love you.
Some of those ancestors are you. Who is watching me right now? We are together in this. We are on the same team. I told you in the world we are in the game of thrones. I will never reach any throne if the people associated with my bloodline are enslaved. It is impossible for me to sit on any throne. It is not an island. I'm not an island. So for me to reach any throne, then the people who are associated with carrying me to sit on that throne must all be awake. If they are asleep, I'm doing zero work. Now, the art of casting spells. To cast any spell, this comes in Leviticus. A lot of you are in Leviticus. And especially Kenya, my country. Kenya, my country already rebelled. The generation already rebelled. The Jupiter already hit. The generation already rebelled. Now they are walking into the wilderness. You're going to need Leviticus. You're going to need spells as Kenyans and everybody else who's working this same particular path. Because Kenyans have a story in the great circle of life that will be revealed in due course of time. Now, the art of casting spell. To cast any spell, one must be well conversant with the portals of Isis, portals of Aset. Aset is the mother of all motherhoods, and it is through Aset that energy is received to transmute and alchemize. Now, what are the portals of Aset? You can call me whichever. The book of Nepheth, you are calling me a demon. That is what Africans have been called for the longest time. My ancestors were called demonic for the longest time. I accept. All my ancestors that were called demonic and were murdered due to that particular accusation, they can come and redeem themselves within me, and I will accept. So kindly, what are the portals of Aset? The eye, Aset is your head. The portals of Aset is your ear, your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Those are the portals. And also your brain. Your brain, when you look at the brain of a child, there is an opening here. And that opening does not, even though it closes in adulthood, it is an opening still. It remains spiritually open. So that is the crown chakra. So the portals of Aset, we have a portal here, 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 and we have a portal here. So I'm going to repeat again. To cast any spell, one must be well conversant with the portals of Aset. Aset is the #1 mother of all motherhoods, the queen of heaven. And it is through Aset that energy is received and transmuted and alchemized. Now the portals of Aset, we have the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, and then the crown. Those are the portals above. The portals below now, we have Aset, and then we have a tomb. The representation of a tomb is the one that Aset sits on. And this is something that I've taught my own private clients, my own private students, but it's something that I just want to scratch through the surfaces. Your eyes above is your breast below. Your nose above is your navel below. Your mouth above is your private parts below. So know that the below is the one that carries a set up here. So a tomb, literally, that was the first sun. It is the first vision that you have. Your self-analysis is the first eyes and brain of the world. Your stomach area, your chest area, those are the first eyes and the first nose and the first visuals and the first brain that you have. A set is the head of a human being, representative of their authenticity. The head is where the human hypothalamus is located. Hypothalamus is in charge of maintaining the state of homeostasis in the entire body. Now the hypothalamus found in authenticity is in charge of perceiving your world and then telling you how to react to it. That is where the spell work is associated. Now your asset, your head, your authenticity controls your other houses. Without authenticity, you are nothing. You are headless fool. I want you to walk around nowadays, tell everybody the truth. Anybody that is not authentic, look at them as a neck that does not have a head. Anybody who is a people pleaser, that is a neck that does not have a head. Without authenticity, you don't have a central nervous system. You are nothing. You are a headless nonsense. You are a legion. You are just a zombie that is walking around. Because your authenticity is the one that controls all the other houses. Without authenticity of hearing, your ear, you can't think using your hand. Without the authenticity of your eyes, you cannot feel the world using your chest. Without the authenticity of your nose, of discerning, your nose, of smelling, you can't analyze yourself and the world around you. And without the authenticity of your mouth, affirming, you can't manifest any desire into this particular world. The same way the brain is adaptable to change is the same way your authenticity is also adaptable with practice. You have no business being the same person you were 5 minutes ago because of neuroplasticity. Be somebody who you are always changing. We live in a demonic world so much that when I change, people start asking questions. Why is he changing so much? Why is he changing so much? As if people are supposed to remain the same. As long as you have authenticity, authenticity is always giving back to Heru. Heru is always changing you. So anybody who asks you, why have you changed so much? Ask them, why are you remaining the same so much? Even the stones, they change. Even mountains, they change. Even the planet is always in summer, winter, spring. Everything is constantly changing. Why are you not changing? Those are church people. Church people are the ones who ask you, why are you always changing? Now you have no business. Me, I will tell you, you have no business being the same person you were 5 minutes ago. And you have no explanation. You should give nobody an explanation. As long as in your brain neuroplasticity has kicked in,
Chelsea.
Meaning you've come across a new information and has changed the way you react. That's all you need. You don't even need to explain yourself to anyone. Authenticity, once expanded, cannot go back. The moment you expand your authenticity, you can never go back. Authenticity is reliant on repetition. Authenticity is reliant on repetition, practice, and constant change in memory, which is called neuroplasticity. With authenticity, when a new move is freshly learned, its pathway becomes temporary in your consciousness and can easily fade. If you don't repeat things, they fade within your consciousness. For example, if you're a model, you need to constantly catwalk. The moment you stop catwalking, it will start to fade within your memory. And you stop catwalking for 10 years, you will not even know how to catwalk anymore. But the more the move is repeated over and over again within your consciousness, the brain neurons change themselves to accommodate the new move and make it part and parcel of the 12 houses. This is how you learn new things. Do you want to learn how to sew clothes? Start using neuroplasticity. Do you want to learn how to dance? Start using neuroplasticity. Do you want to become a professional singer? Start using neuroplasticity. You can start from anywhere. The more you repeat, the better you become. The more you repeat, the better you become. Africans, you've been brainwashed to think that you need to just open your mouth and you're singing excellent. You need to just, Africans want to come and avoid the humiliation ritual. You must become an amateur. You must become a
What,
beginner.
Irene's not coming
In
today?
anything in life, even children when they're born, they must
I don't
learn how
see
to
it.
walk before they start running.
I got to stop.
Africans have been brainwashed through the
Yes.
church that they can pray for a child to start running the moment it comes from
Must
the
know some
womb.
other
It can
word.
never happen. Be
I
a
don't see the
realist.
card.
Move away from those churches that feed you
Good chances.
illusions as reality. Humiliation ritual is a must.
I don't know, sweetie.
You must suck. You must pass through a place where you are some people are laughing at you. But one thing I will always tell you to console you is the people who pass through the same and reach success will never laugh at you when you're passing through the same. People who are huge fashion designers, who have made it successful, will never laugh at you when your clothes are a little bit missing in symmetry when you're just learning. They will encourage you to keep going because they pass through there too. The people that laugh at you are the people that want you to feel so embarrassed that you become useless like them because they're not even trying. Wake up, Africa. Wake up, Africa. So that you start harvesting the day. Allow yourself to go through the humiliation ritual. One thing I thank
Okay, me?
God about the way I started sewing was I met people who told me the truth. In fact, when I started sewing, this guy called Ochieng told me, you are going to embarrass yourself. Accept it. Just be ready to meet it so that it passes. But you're going to embarrass yourself. I embarrassed myself. Somebody else embarrassed themselves. You're going to one day make something that the client is going to hate. But put diplomacy first. Always be diplomatic. When you make a mistake, acknowledge. Go do the work again. Be diplomatic. Don't be somebody who you make a mistake and instead of going through the humiliation ritual, you start throwing kicks of a dying horse. Oh, it's you. Some people, they dodge the humiliation ritual instead of taking it with humility. Yes, I made this one wrong. Please give me time to rectify it. I'm sorry. Or kindly, I can return your money. Please be diplomatic. Be a realist and go through the humiliation ritual with grace. If you know somebody gave you work and you did a shoddy work, don't be rude. So it's like falling when you're learning how to skate. Once you fall, you are not going to be afraid of falling anymore. Because you know now what it feels like to fall. So allow yourself to fall to the rock bottom because that's the only way you bounce back when you are a beginner.
Don't help the baby?
No, I mean you want me out of here.
I
Now,
don't.
hexing.
I don't.
When you're using spells,
Okay, my
guys, I've
sweet.
told you the art of spells is in the portals of Aset. Aset is the one that does the spelling. There's no other house that does spelling for you.
cheeks.
It is
I'm
just
gonna miss you while
Aset
you
is the
gone.
one that
Can't wait
does the
to pick you
spelling
up.
and it comes from that reflex of the central nervous
Is there
system.
any way to do
It
time
comes from the
manipulation?
hypothalamus. The
Fast
need
forward
to
like 4
balance and keep
hours,
yourself in a
like,
state of
oh, that,
homeostasis
how
is
is
what will
it?
always
It's
push you towards spell
Figure it
work.
out.
Now, hexing is the
Figure it
phenomenon
out.
of utilizing the
Can
support,
be done. Spend
the
time with
supporting
yourself.
character of sound to alchemize and transmute energy towards
Not now,
whichever
Chicky.
direction. What is sound? Sound comes from the neck.
What if she's
The
not
neck stands for
here?
self-support. Baby, if any sound,
What are
any
the
sound is
She may
supposed to
not
be
be here,
supportive.
baby. I don't see the car unless you got a
Any
new car.
sound
No way, she's too low.
is supposed to be supportive.
I'll see if I can look it.
Baby, any sound that is coming from anybody, I don't care whether it's coming from a bird, I don't care whether it's coming from your dad, I don't care. Any sound that is coming from outside that is not supportive of you, stay away.
Right in her usual
Tell it
spot.
no.
I didn't see a car
Because
at all. I know
sound
her
is
license plate.
support.
I don't see it.
Sound is Osiris. Sound is the Taurus energy. It is the energy of abundance that is supposed to be abundant to you. So anytime you are seated somewhere and any sound is coming, it's supposed to be supportive. This is what the Vatican, these are the witchcraft that the Vatican knows, and Hollywood. Vatican and Hollywood are the same thing. They put sound that when you sing is not supportive. For example, pay a lot of attention to Billie Eilish's song. Or certain songs, they make you disrespect yourself. They make you insult yourself without knowing. They make you put yourself in a state of depression without knowing. Listen to me today. Sound comes from the neck. The neck is the house of self-support. Any sound is supposed to be supportive. And when I turn the sword the other side, any sound you produce is also supposed to be supportive of your own essence. Anytime you're speaking, and you're speaking words like, hey, me, I'm so stupid. You know me, I'm just an average. You know me, I'm so ugly. You know, you are spell working and hexing yourself. If the sound that is coming from the support is not supportive, shut the fuck up. If the sound that is coming from the self-support is not supportive, hey, nyamaza, tafadhali. Maybe wait a little bit. Maybe take that particular energy to the stomach first, before you bring it back again. Please hold on a little bit. Maybe try again. Because sound is meant to be supportive. Right now we live in a world where sound comes from vehicles, sound comes from everywhere, from cutting of trees. Pay attention to the sounds that are coming. All sounds are supposed to be supportive. Any sound that is not supportive, you have no business hearing. Any sound that is not supportive, you have no business hearing. I'll repeat myself, even on TikTok for you page, any sound that is not supportive, you have no business hearing. Mute, move, ignore, close your ears, wear your headphones, do whatever you need to do to protect yourself from any sound that is. Alchemize and transmute energy towards whichever direction you want. Before learning the art of Xing, one must first learn the nature of their energetic intake, whether they are nilotic or Bantu. What type of energy do you take? Can you just take, there's a nilotic people are people who can take any type of energy because they can transmute it. And they're born like that. Niloids are born under cruel environments. I'll tell you this for free. I've been talking to you about nilotics and Bantus, but let me now tell you, if you want to know that you're a niloid, niloids are born under very patriarchal environments, very cruel environments. They are made to take in any type of energy. But Bantus are born in the greens. Bantus are born where, you know, when you talk to a Bantu, you're talking kababa, kamama, ne, like you unadekeza. Bantus, they grow in the greens where sound is supportive and is life. But nilotics, they grow up in chaos. So also just know when you learn when you're doing hexing, acknowledge what you are. Acknowledge what you are. The writings on the walls, they don't lie. Niloids are born in chaos because they must learn to transmute that energy. All energies, Niloids must learn how to transmute. And then Bantus are born in peace, in the silence, in the energies that are growth oriented. So when you find a mixture of nilotics and Bantus, you'll always know Bantus, they encourage, you know, babysitting. But then nilotics, you will be dumped in the water and left to drown. That's what it is. Now the silence, there is silent hexing of the Bantus and the violent hexing of the nylons. So when you want to engage in hexing, no, are you a Bantu or are you a Niloid? Just be honest. And then you will know how your hex will become powerful. Bantus will hex you but with no word. Bantus hex with silence. These are the witches that you'll never even know that they are doing witchcraft against you, because they are in the shadows, in the silence, and sometimes Bantu will hex you by speaking good words to you. And then Nilotics can hex violently. Nilotics can insult loudly. Nilotics can, that energy, that the chaotic energies. A Niloid can hex through chaos. Bantus hex in silence. Now, Bantus are only successful when they hex through emotions, which is water. They hex you from within, through their emotions, in private, silently, while Niloids can hold up outside swords and hex loudly in public due to their ability to consume flesh and due to their natural connection with the jungle. Can one be both? Yes! We live in a world where concoctions have been made. You can be both. The thing is, you must be genuine with yourself. And this is why I'm telling you, 2025, know yourself. You are the only book you are reading. From 2025 going on, you are the only book you are reading. Know yourself. Are you a mixture? Are you Bantu or Nilote, or are you a mixture of Bantu and Nilote? And when we go into the racial category, are you the child of Osiris? Are you the child of Aset? Or are you the child of Set? Or are you the child of Nephthys? You must know yourself. And I always say the mixed people, the prostitutes. Mixed people are people who they play for both sides, the Asians and the mixed children. Any child that is born from black and white is Nephthys. That's one that plays both sides. Those are the children of Nephthys. Asians, children of Nephthys. Then we have the children of Osiris. Those are the Nilotes. Then we have the children of Aset. Those are the Bantus. And then we have the children of Set, the deserts. And those are the white people. Everybody is included. We have 4 different distinct races, and everybody is included. Now, how to hex? Whenever you hex, curse, or cast a spell, you are betting. Some people some people think that their ancestors are just fools, that they can just use to hex anybody. Ancestors are the most intelligent people. Before you use them to cause havoc, to wreak havoc to anybody, you must follow the rules. Now, these are the rules. Whenever you hex, whenever you cast a spell, or whenever you cast anyone, you are betting. It's a betting. It's like you are engaging in sport pesa, or that thing they call a vieta. I don't know how a vieta work. I don't know. I just came across it the other day. But it is betting. It's like you are engaging in a betting company. This is a direct gamble with thought that a set enters. The moment you're hexing anybody or you're casting a spell, your authenticity is entering into a gamble with your self-usage. How you use yourself is entering into a gamble with your authenticity. This gamble puts you and the person you are hexing in a wrestling wall, in a wrestling ring. When we were growing up, we used to watch wrestling. Whenever you are hexing somebody, that is the place you're put. You're put in a wrestling ring to test both yours and their belief and intuition. This gamble actively tests who is more submissive to their inner authority. It's a game. Some people, they're so afraid of hexing because they don't want to engage in this game. But this is just a game of a man. It is a battle testing. If I decide to hex you, I am betting on myself that I respect my inner authority more than you. If I do, chubulu, I win. If you do, back to sender. Now, this gamble actively tests who is more submissive to their inner authority. In that moment that you hex, sharpen your antennas. because the moment you hex somebody now, you've put yourself to be tested. It's like you've put your gold to go through fire so that we see if it is going to survive. Are we together, guys? Up to that particular point, are we together? So anytime you're hexing, do not hex things that you know are stronger than you. Please. Utanyolewa. Utanyolewa kabisa. The moment you're hexing, pick something that truly, for example, if somebody does you dirty, if somebody does evil towards you, you can enter into a hex competition with them. Let's see who supports their inner authority more. And the universe, you cannot bribe the door on your way to the sky. You cannot bribe the door on your way to the sky. So be ready for any result. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. But kindly, some people, you need to start watching your mouth. Because your mouth is your greatest hexer. It hexes you. And just like I said, if you're opening your mouth and the words that are coming out are not supportive towards your honest, then shut up. Why did Africa not use X to protect themselves? This is what I'm saying. The war against Africans was a war that was pushed by divide and rule. I'm telling you, I can never sit on the throne if the people associated with my bloodline are not willing. They are in the Vatican. The reason why Africans were defeated during the colonial period was because a lot of them were sitting in churches, occupying positions in the Vatican after brainwash. Read about the Vatican and how it conquered different African territories. There was torture. You were tortured to either choose to be a Christian or you die. You were either supposed to be in the Vatican or you die. Divide and rule worked very well. Worked very well because I'm telling you, spirituality, if you want to do it on a larger scale, your ancestors must be on board. If the spirituality is just between me and you, one person, then my ancestors must be on board and yours must be on board. But if it is between cultural, like for example, children of Aset versus children of Set, then children of Aset must be 144,000 awake and enough to stare into infinity. If the number is short, there is power in numbers. If the number is short, you lose. If the number of people from supporting the Vatican is more than the number of people that are supporting the African spirituality, you lose. Ushirikina. They fought the African Ushirikina so much because that was what was keeping us together. The African spirituality was first disintegrated before colonization was put into practice. Read about it. Somebody's asking me, are Set children 144,000 awake? Look at Europe, guys. Let's just be a realist and know the people you are up against. Europeans are awake to their story. That the Vatican story is their story. That is the story that protects them, and they are holding on to it. Look at the type of churches they built. Look at their cities. Go to France. Go to Paris. Go to the Vatican City. Go to Rome. Go to Italy. Every building is built in a way that gives back to their ancestors. Every time they wake up, they see the Gemini, they see the Taurus, they see the Aquarius, they see their gods everywhere, all the time. Yeah, it's not going to be for long, but for now, know that they are a step ahead. Acknowledge your opponent. Never underestimate your opponent. They get reminded every day subconsciously, even the ones that are pagan, the way their city is built, the way they've built themselves, the way they've arranged themselves. They are paying homage to their ancestors on a daily basis. And they've made sure that even in Africa, we are paying homage to their own ancestors. Because the Vatican churches in Africa get full every day. Every day, the Vatican churches are full. We are outnumbered. Outnumbered. And that is the reason why we were defeated. Divide and rule is effective and efficient. So no, it's not a joke. Know that the war is not a joke, and don't get into the war of fighting for Africa before you fight for your own self. Start by getting yourself out of the Vatican, getting yourself out of the religion, getting yourself and your family, and through behavior and authenticity. And then come unite, and then we'll fight for the greatest cause. But before you are holding on to the Vatican and you're holding on to Pan-Africanism, you are in the Vatican and you're Pan-African. Vatican, Pan-African does not work. You are drinking poison. Yeah, the divine and rule is efficient. A lot of Africans are asking, why were we defeated? It's because even now, how many Africans are in charge? How many Africans are in the Catholic Church? The Roman, they know the name is the Roman Catholic Church. Because one thing about the white man, they'll never hide it fully. They call it the Roman Catholic Church. It is of Rome. It is for the Romans. And Africans are there. So now, even now, if the war, the spiritual war was to erupt, we would stand no chance. Because majority of our people are still in the church. So this is the reason why I'm telling you the African obituary is full. Don't die for anybody. Liberate yourself first, and then if Africans will wake up and want to liberate themselves, we will be there. But for now, liberate yourself only. And then create space for yourself only as an African. A lot of us are still in church. You will never succeed in the war of unity for Africans. A lot of us are still... Look at South Africa. Look at where South Africa is. And unrecognizable from the South Africa in history. You cannot recall... If you read about the South Africa in history, and then you read about the South Africa now, two totally different places. So... with that type of divide, fight for yourself for now, and don't die for anybody. You will not. Are you willing to die for people who every Sunday they are sitting in the Vatican? Yeah. People who every Sunday they are sitting in the Catholic Church praying to the Roman gods. Are you willing to die for such? That is a useless death. Don't. Fight for yourself. Save yourself, and then sit. After you've sat in the top of the pyramid, Africans who are willing to join you will join you. Once you reach 144,000, you can present your case. But before then, do it for yourself. Work alone. Otherwise, guys, this is where I reach. Yeah, people are very divided, but one step at a time. Somebody like me, I will never stop teaching. I will teach until we see where we will end up. But the ones in charge, just know that picking up, and let's continue moving. 2025 root yourself. In 2025 you will not survive. Strong winds are coming. A lot of some of you Africans, you're going to hear black people talk about shit that is very demonic. The same things that they told our ancestors, and our ancestors shrank. The same things they told our ancestors and killed our ancestors' support system. They're going to be saying them next year. They're going to be talking the politics of South Africa, and black people do not belong to South Africa. They're going to be talking about, Europeans saving the world with technology and Africans being useless. All those conversations are going to come back even more hard, even more pronounced. You're going to see people who are in big positions talking about this particular thing. It's going to be triggering. There's a lot that is going to happen to test your self-support and the self-support of the spiritual community. All I can do is wish you all the best, because I'm also going to be taking that same exam. So I wish us all the best, and I hope that may the best students win. May the students who deserve to pass, and may we build, those who deserve to build a better world for themselves and their ancestors, may they be granted those wishes. But just know that next year is not going to be a joke. A lot of things, it's already happening. There's a white man around that is talking about South Africans not being, black South Africans not being the originals of South Africa, talking about the Khoisan not being black. So a lot of things are going to come, they're going to test you, they're going to trigger. But at the end of the day, just be ready to be real, and be ready to read, and be ready to know your ancestors, and be ready to speak up, and be ready to support yourself. Nobody will come do it for you, but there's a lot of wind that is going to come. You're going to see why our ancestors were defeated. You're going to see what exactly they went through. You're going to see the lies that they were told that made them to surrender to the Vatican. All of that is going to come back in 2025, just to make sure that natural selection occurs and the ancestors that are well equipped to survive will survive. Those that are not well equipped to survive will die. There's a lot of deaths that is going to be happening in 2025. A lot of people are going to die. Some of you, maybe you're watching me here, you're not going to see 2026. The universe is going to vomit a lot. So just walk with yourself. All your answers that you seek are within you, and through the help of God. God is always helping you through your For You page. God is always helping you through those birds that are singing in your background. God is always helping you through the passers-by, the people you pass on the road. God is usually just helping you through all ways. Open yourself up. Open your heart chakra more, so that you access the help of God even more, so that you're capable of passing the times that are coming. The kicks of the dying horses are going to be more pronounced in 2025. And those kicks of dying horses, they're going to kick certain people to death. Be prepared. Otherwise, thank you guys for reaching me. 329 subscribers. I appreciate it.